Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You're all the reasons why this keeps going. Join the Legion today at patreon.com/63rdlegion for free and help decide next week's new character. Joining my paid tiers allows you early access to my content, a shout out in my videos, homebrew D&D items for your games, and a chance to play some D&D in the Patreon community. We now have a Discord. It's just getting started, but we have some future plans coming, like events for Discord members and Patreon members. It's time we return to the game Genshin Impact, and to give my partner more excuses to play this, it's Yunjin. Yunjin is the head of the Liu Opera Troupe, where she has been trained in the arts of dance and stage combat. She's an accomplished playwright, writing stories of the common people of the land over stories of gods and mythical heroes, giving her an amazing understanding of people and the land's history. Her combat style utilizes her natural grace and reach of her spear, treating all battles as if they are stage performances. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook and Xanathar's Guide to Everything. We're using Standard Point Array, and we are multi-classing with several stat minimums, so keep an eye on those. Make Charisma 15, Dex 14, Wisdom 13, Intelligence 12, Con 10, and we're going to be dumping Strength with an 8. It's really not needed for this build, so it can be sacrificed. Yunjin is a human, resourceful, grants you an inspiration dice whenever you finish a long rest if you don't already have one. Skillful gives you a free skill, take acrobatics. Versatile gives you a bonus origin feat. For this feat, Tough doubles your current character level in HP and then adds +2 HP to every level after. This is basically the only way we're getting HP. To finish out your lineage, you know the language Common and 2 more of your choice. For background, add +2 into Dex and +1 into Charisma. For your origin feat, Musician gives you proficiency in 3 musical instruments, and when you finish a short or long rest, you can use any of your instruments you are proficient with to give an inspiration dice to a number of allies equal to your proficiency bonus. For your skills, grab History and Religion. To finish out your background, learn to make a good meal and grab Cook's Utensils. Level 1 Bards start things off with 3 skills. Grab Performance, Insight, and Persuasion. You are proficient with simple melee weapons, light armor, 3 musical instruments, and the saving throws, Dex, and Charisma. Bardic Inspiration lets you inspire your teammates. With a bonus action, you can give a Bardic Inspiration dice to an ally that can see or hear you within 60 feet. This Bardic Inspiration dice is a D6 that can be used for any D20 test within the next hour. You can do this a number of times equal to your Charisma modifier between long rests. Spellcasting gives you spells. You're starting off with 2 cantrips and 4 first level spells. For your spells, Thunderclap unleashes a blast of thunder, hitting every creature within 5 feet of you and forcing a con save. If they fail, they take 1d6 thunder damage. True Strike lets you make a melee attack and use your Charisma modifier for attack and damage, and you can replace the damage with Radiant. Cure Wounds heals 2d8 plus your Charisma modifier to anyone you touch, including yourself. Feather Fall slows your descent for 1 minute. If you hit the ground while the spell is active, you take no damage. Comprehend Language lets you understand any language you hear or read for 1 hour, but reading is much slower. Heroism lets you make a willing creature immune to the frightened condition and gain temporary HP equal to your Charisma modifier for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. Level 1 Monks begin with Unarmored Defense. Your AC when not wearing armor or using a shield is 10 plus your Dex modifier plus your Wisdom modifier. Martial Arts improves your unarmed strikes and monk weapons. Monk weapons are simple melee weapons and martial weapons with the light property, like your spear. When you're not wearing armor or using a shield, your unarmed strikes and monk weapons can now be Dex based for attack and damage. You can make an unarmed strike as a bonus action, and you can use the martial arts dice for damage for your unarmed strikes and monk weapons. This dice is a D6. Level 2 Bards gain Expertise. You can now double the proficiency bonus to 2 skills. Place this into Acrobatics and Performance. Jack of all Trades lets you add half your proficiency bonus to every skill you aren't proficient with. For your new spell, Thunder Wave creates a 15-foot cube in front of you, forcing a con save on everyone within the cube, dealing 2d6 thunder damage on a failure and pushing them back by 10 feet. Level 3 bards now have access to their subclass. Valor, found in the player's handbook, is going to make you a combat performer. Martial training gives you proficiency in medium armor, martial weapons, and shields. And now all your weapons are spellcasting focuses for your bard spells. Combat Inspiration gives you more uses to your inspiration dice. A creature with your bardic inspiration can now use their reaction to add the dice to their AC, or add it to the damage of their attack. You also have second level spells. For your final spell, take what you want. Level 1 fighters start things off with a fighting style feat. For this feat, great weapon fighting improves your damage with a weapon you are wielding with 2 hands by treating any damage roll of 1 or 2 as a 3. To gain this, the weapon must have the versatile or 2-handed property like your spear does. Second Wind lets you heal yourself 1d10 plus your fighter level twice per long rest, but you regain 1 use after a short rest. Weapon Mastery allows you to access your weapon's special properties. At the end of a long rest, choose 3 weapons you're proficient with, and now you have access to those weapons' mastery. For weapons you use, Spear gives you Sap, which causes a creature you hit with this weapon to have disadvantage on its next attack roll before the start of your next turn. And sadly, that's it. You only use pole arms in the game, and right now spears are the best weapons that you can use for that, but change this up if you feel like it. You've reached character level 5, raise your proficiency bonus to +3. Thunderclap now deals 2 damage dice, and True Strike now deals an extra 1d6 radiant damage on a hit. Level 2 fighters receive Action Surge. You can now give yourself a free action once per short or long rest, and you can't use this free action to cast a spell. So cast a spell first, then attack with an Action Surge. Tactical Mind lets you use your second wind on a failed skill check. If the D10 doesn't make the skill check pass, you don't lose the use of second wind. Level 3 fighters now have access to their subclass. Samurai from Xanathar's Guide makes you a better fighter. First, you gain a new language. Choose what you want. Fighting Spirit lets you use your bonus action to give yourself advantage on all weapon attacks until the end of your turn, and give yourself 5 temporary HP. You can do this 3 times per long rest. Level 4 fighters earn our first ability score improvement, Bump Up Dex. You now have 3 uses of Second Wind and up to 4 weapon masteries. Level 5 fighters gain extra attack. You can now attack twice with a single attack action. Tactical Shift lets you move half your speed when you use Second Wind, and this movement doesn't provoke an attack of opportunity. You've hit character level 9, bring your proficiency bonus to +4. Level 6 fighters earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Dex. Level 7 samurai fighters learn Elegant Courtier. You now have proficiency with wisdom saving throws. Also, you now add your wisdom modifier to your persuasion checks. You've reached character level 11. Thunderclap now deals 3d6 thunder damage, and True Strike now deals an extra 2d6 radiant damage. Level 8 fighters earn another ability score improvement, Bump Up Charisma. Level 9 fighters now have Indomitable. You can now reroll 1 failed saving throw per long rest. Tactical Master lets you switch weapon masteries on weapons you've chosen. For the masteries you can switch out for, Slow reduces the speed of a creature you've hit with this weapon by 10 feet till the start of your next turn. Push moves a creature you've hit with this weapon by 10 feet. You can also switch it out for Sap, which we've already explained. Your character level 13, bring the proficiency bonus up to +5. Level 10 samurai fighters gain Tireless Spirit. Now, when you roll initiative and have no uses of Fighting Spirit, you can regain 1 use. You can also now gain 10 temporary HP when you use Fighting Spirit. You now have 4 uses of Second Wind and 5 weapon masteries. Level 11 fighters receive extra attack ×2. You can now attack 3 times with a single attack action. Level 12 fighters earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Charisma. Level 13 fighters now have 2 uses of Indomitable. Studied Attack lets you gain the upper hand in a fight. When you miss with an attack, the next attack you make against the same creature is at advantage before the end of your next turn. You've hit the final milestone, character level 17, max out your proficiency bonus at +6. Thunderclap now does 4d6 thunder damage, and True Strike deals an extra 3d6 radiant damage. Level 14 fighters earn another ability score improvement. Let's grab a feat. Inspiring Leader from the player's handbook adds +1 to wisdom and then lets you make a bolstering performance. When you finish a short or long rest, you can give a performance. When you do this, you choose 6 allies within 30 feet, and now they gain temporary HP equal to your character level plus your wisdom modifier. Level 15 Samurai Fighters learn Rapid Strike. Now when you have advantage on the attack, you can forgo advantage and make an additional attack. You can do this once per turn. Our final level is level 16 Fighter, and you earn our final ability score improvement, and as you are character level 20, you have access to epic boons. I'm going to end this with a +2 to wisdom for more AC and temporary HP for our allies, but take whatever you want if you don't need the boost in wisdom. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 8, Dex 20, Con 10, Intelligence 12, Wisdom 16, Charisma 20. Your total character levels are Fighter 16, Monk 1, Bard 3. Let's dive in. You are an amazing performer. Your performance in acrobatics is +17. You are proficient with 6 musical instruments. You can inspire your allies in and out of combat. You can inspire them multiple ways, make them immune to being frightened, and give them 23 temporary HP. In combat, you're pretty good as well. Wielding your spear with 2 hands, you're dealing 1d8 +5. Damage of 1s and 2s count as 3s. You can slow them down, cause enemies to have disadvantage on the next attack. Give yourself advantage on attacks, can attack up to 3 times normal, 6 times with an action surge, can add another attack onto that by canceling out advantage, and can make a magical attack that deals an extra 3d6 radiant damage on top of the 1d8. Finally, your AC is 18, you can heal yourself and others, re-rolled failed saves, and taking the average, your HP is over 150. Downside. Firstly, we had to jump into Monk just so we could use your spear with efficiency. We could have gotten another ability score or more action surges if we went another way. You also have limited resources with 6 spell slots and 6 uses of Bardic Inspiration. But I think because of your limited spells, this is not going to be a problem, as you're probably going to ignore the spells. Your Bardic Inspiration also isn't as good as compared to your other inspiration dice that you can give them. Your total health is only where it is because we took Tough. Without it, you're just over 100 HP. To add on to that, your strength and wisdom scores could be better. Wisdom isn't that bad, but it could be so much greater, and strength is just pure garbage. Because of that, you can't use other pole arms to your advantage. Now, if you want a better AC and are still using standard point array, think about changing your Bard subclass from Valor to Dance. You will lose the Bardic Inspiration abilities, and in all honesty, it doesn't give you much else other than the fact that you will have advantage on performance checks, and you will now have an AC that uses your Charisma modifier with your Dex modifier instead of your lesser Wisdom modifier. But that being said, I feel Valor is much better for this build. If you do change from Bard of Valor to Bard of Dance, you can also drop the level in Monk, because Dance gives you better unarmed strikes. The only issue is your spear will no longer be Dex based, so you'll have to change out weapons, but that's not a big deal. Just go with a rapier. Head into the lands and speak to the people and learn all their stories, while you become the greatest storyteller to ever live. I'd like to give a special shout out to my Artificer tier. Thank you, John Martin, Christopher R. Hunter, Java Squirrel, Jonathan Haynes, and Daniel Saftler. You guys rock. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. And make sure to check out my Patreon, where you can help decide next week's new character.